What's going on, Trader Gang? Happy Sunday to you guys. We are live for our Sunday market breakdown. So, just a recap for you guys. Um, we took a huge loss for the week on our $500 account. So, unfortunately, we dropped it all the way down to $58. So, it's still alive, but we're going to try this week to, of course, try to rebuild it back up, just taking just a much smaller position size. Not only that, we are adding something to the mix. We're adding a prop firm account that we just got. So we're going with Take Profit Trader, and we are doing a 50K account. So we're going to be trading a live account and this account simultaneously. So if I take a trade on my live account, I'm going to take a trade on that account. So, but we're going to stick to, of course, strict rules, and we're only going to trade New York session. So, I am going to break down gold here because I will say on the prop firm account, if an opportunity presents itself on gold during Asian session, because data has shown for the last couple weeks there has been some nice movement on gold during Asian session. We will possibly look for some opportunities there on just the prop firm account only. That's it. But we're primarily going to be focusing on New York session, obviously. So let's get into it, guys. So show some love in the chat. I appreciate you guys popping on. Let me get my other view so I can see what my YouTube channel looks like. All right. So, of course, we can see here that price ended up opening all the way down at the bottom here, which is crazy because price originally was up here at about, was that 49,340, and then literally opened all the way down here. So now we're at 48,984. So, but first off, let's take a look at news. So we definitely want to take a look at news. So what do we have coming up this week? So I have it filtered here for just USD only. So tomorrow is a bank holiday. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So of course, no trades are going to be happening. We're completely staying away from the market. Tuesday, we have it's tentative, but ADP weekly employment change. So we'll see when that's going to happen. But again, we're just going to focus on market open and see what price does. Wednesday, we have President Trump speaks at 5:30 in the morning, which is kind of weird. Then we have pending home sales, 7 a.m. So Wednesday, we just got to be careful what price is going to do. Thursday, we have core PCE price index, final GDP. So just a lot of stuff going on just on that day period. But this is pre-market open, so at 5:30. So nothing really during market open, to be honest. And then Friday we have again pre-market open, flash manufacturing, and flash services. So I have seen this in the past where this can move the market. So we just got to be careful of that. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy with news. So let's go ahead and look at the chart. Sorry, let me share my screen again. My fault. Okay. So We're just gonna clear this up and just get rid of everything. So nice clean slate here. So I mean, we could see here. To be honest, lately US30 has been just doing a lot of consolidation. Like if we're looking even on the 30-minute, like if we see this right here, I mean, this is even on the somewhat lower time frame. So like, look at this. Like, what does that look like to you? It's just a lot of chop. So what did price do? Price came down. Price came down to this level, kind of broke this level of demand a little bit, popped right back up, consolidated. We did come back up here, retest this area. What happened? We rejected it, came back down here, tapped into pretty much this level of supply. Um, and then market, I think we had this was news or something like that, or market open even. Price pushed all the way down to here, try to retest this demand zone, ended up rejecting, pushed all the way back up, and then what happened again? We retested this area again. Price consolidated. We ended up trying to push higher. We did push a little bit higher than the previous year, but what happened right after that? We hit an all-time high. Boom, rejected. Pulled all the way down here, right back to where? Right back to this demand zone. So like we could literally mark up just key areas, like even on the 30-minute. Look, so what does that look like? So we have this obviously, right? So I'll do this in like yellow or maybe like blue. There we go. So we got an area of demand right here. We had an area of supply right here. So look at that, just up and down, chop, 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 chop. So again, price came down all the way down to here. What did we do? We retested this area of demand. Just didn't want to push further down. And what happened? We bounced off of that, pushed all the way back up to where? The previous supply zone. So obviously, price just doesn't want to push further down and doesn't necessarily want to go up. So, and then what happened here? Price ended up trying to push further. Again, rejection again. So came up and then literally just ended right here. And then, of course, now we're coming down right here. So what could possibly happen again? We could push down further here, try to retest this level of demand again, and end up maybe possibly pushing back up or breaking through that and basically possibly taking out these lows again. So we have a demand zone right here, and we have another demand zone right here. So because price did come to this area right here. So I could easily take this, drag it all the way over here. So again, just looking at this, that's possibly what price could do, even on the 30-minute. We could literally push down here. So, but we just have to see. Just there's just been a lot of chop. So even on the 1 hour, see it clear as day. Just a lot of up, down, up, down, up, down, just choppiness. 4 hour, boom, even more so, clear as day. So not to say that, of course, on if you're on the lower time frame, if you're a scalper, could you capitalize on these? Absolutely. So you could have took a huge position right here, nice buy, then a sell. You could have caught this buy, consolidated a little bit, wait for price to push up. Boom. Could have took this buy right here, took this sell, buy. So granted, there were opportunities, and there always are opportunities within consolidation, but you need to be able to look for it and be able to identify it. So not gonna lie, I got caught in a lot of this. So I got pretty much wrecked on I think Tuesday it was. I think Tuesday was my last trading day because I just got wrecked. So if I would have kind of just focused on this and saw this, then of course I could have saved myself, but it is what it is. So so let's mark this up. So even though we are in a consolidation, we always start on the weekly. So even on the weekly, it doesn't look like it's consolidated like that because on the grand scheme of things, we're still bullish overall. But if we're trading on the lower time frame, it's not going to be that way. So again, we can mark up, of course, the all time high here on the weekly, and then as I'm actually looking at this, and then of course if I go down to so I mean the daily you can obviously see consolidation here, but I think the 4 hour you can see it even more like even clearer. So as of right now, as far as markups, we're gonna mark up the all time high here. So the all time high was uh, what 49,686. So 49,686. I'm gonna do 85, or I'll do 85. Yeah, there we go. So we'll copy this, and we're gonna do all time high, and then move this to the right, obviously. All right, there we go. All time high 49,685. So we have that, and then we can mark up the weekly high and low. So of course, all time high is already there, and then we have a weekly low right here. So this will be. I'm gonna do this in an orange. And this is gonna be a previous weekly low. So we got 488. Let's go 60. All right. So previous weekly low 488.60. There we go. So we have that. So the all-time high here is going to be our previous weekly high. So I'm not going to mark that because we already have all-time high right here. So I want to go down to the 4 hour. So the 4 hour here, we're going to mark up some areas. So of course we have the all-time high here. So we could easily mark this up like this, just so that we have that, and then mark up the previous weekly low. I like to go from candle to wick, and then let's look at for some other areas as well. So see if I were to drag this over. So even though we marked up this demand zone right here, so look what happens when I drag this over. It barely taps into this previous supply area. So again, that tells you something. So could price tap into this area? Very much so. But it can also bounce off of it because that's what it's done prior. So you have to look at what price did previously. So again, back on January 6th, of course, we had a push down and then a huge push back up. And then what did the price do? Push right back down into this area. So what did price do again? It pushed up back into this area, pushed back down, pushed back up. We tapped into a new all-time high, and then price rejected, pushed all the way back to this demand zone. So that's not only once, that's that's twice, or like once, twice, three times. So usually when you have three touch points like that, that's usually a pretty strong area of demand. So could price possibly tap into this area again, or maybe even a little bit lower and push right back up? So that could very well happen if this is a strong area of demand. So because price is pushing even as of right now. So again, we want to mark up some other areas. So what would be another possible key area? So this area right here. So this is the previous area. So and then what could be another area? This area right here. So previous areas of demand. So we could easily mark these up. So I'll mark this like this. And then we have another area right here. I want to do it to the to this area right here, to the wick. And then of course mark it up. So is that we'll do 15. So 48, 315. So these are what you call psychological levels. So they're usually they go in fives. So like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50 maybe. So like more like 25, 50, 75. So usually in like 25s, I want to say. So I'm just going to mark this up like that. And then we have an area right here. Yeah, it's a good area. So we have 47,801. So I'll just leave that like that. All right. So right now we can see that this we're just waiting for a breakout pretty much because we have again the all-time high. We have this area of demand, previous supply, another area of demand, and then another area of demand here. So and then of course we have another area of demand right here as well. So I'm just going to do 3 of these because we have to see if because price could easily come all the way down to here and then push up right back to this area and then continue to come down. So it has to bounce off of an area. So we'll just keep it just like this. So I mean, for you guys that have done these breakdowns with me before, I mean, we keep it super clean. Like it's clear as day. Supply and demand, supporting resistance. This is what it looks like. So we're just looking for areas that price could um, possibly tap back into that it's tapped into in the past. So, or if not, where is it going to go next? So again, granted, yes. Do we have a trend? We do. So we can clearly see we have a trend here. So that's clearly evident. But right now, over the last or for the whole month of January so far, we've just been consolidated. So we need to wait for a breakout of this consolidation. So, because again, we could have a break here and then a retest and then come right back down, or even possibly come all the way down to here. So that's what we're waiting for. So that's the breakdown on US30. So again, price is consolidated. I'm just gonna put this like this, and we need to break out of this consolidation. So until we do that, which again could possibly happen tonight because market's already open, but we'll see if there's enough volume to do that. So and then tomorrow's a holiday, so we'll see what's really going to happen. And then we'll go to gold. So gold hit an all-time high. So what did it hit? 46.90. So of course we'll mark that up. So 4690.940. All right, that was the all-time high. All right, so we had an all-time high 46.90.94. All right, there we go. And then of course we'll mark up the previous day high and low. So this is where it is right now. So here it's a little bit easier because this was last week, right? That was the 12th. So we'll mark up the high right here. Again, we'll make it orange. Where's that at? 46.43. We'll go 280. So previous weekly high. And there we go. And then the previous weekly low was, of course, right here. So it literally had no wick. So we have 45.20, 989. I mean, we could almost do just that 45.21 because it's almost close to that. So previous weekly low. All right. So and then we can go down to the 4 hour here, and then of course you can see it clear as day. So we can mark up right here, all time high, and then here we have, of course, our previous weekly high, and then of course the weekly low. There we go. So for here, of course, gold may continue to keep pushing up. So because it did break out of a consolidation, so gold has been kind of doing the same thing. So it pulled up into this range back in last or January 11th, so last Sunday, and then literally just pretty much just ranged, just a bunch of chop. So even if I were to blow this up a little bit, so we can see price tried to push up higher, ended up rejecting. Price ended up pushing higher than this previous candle. It did succeed in that, and then what happened? It pulled back. So and then price pulled right back to this same area of demand. So again, we have an area of demand right here. We can see that clear as day. So what did price do? It pushed up into this area. So yes, we did break these previous candles, these candles. So yes, we pushed, made an all-time high, and then rejected. Pulled back again, tried to retest it, push back even further. We ended up rejecting. And then of course we tried to do it again. And we just kept getting rejection after that. And then of course, when was this? Friday, price pushed all the way down to here, and it ended up closing right here. And then, on, of course, on Friday, we ended up having a little bit of a push up, and that was it. So now price opened all the way up here. So there was a lot of probably buy orders and ended just pushing price up all the way up here. So it made it a new all time high because we literally broke through all of this chop right here. So what could price possibly do? We could end up having a pullback, and price pulls back right back into this range. So I feel like this is good to have here, just as a mark, because price could easily retap back into this area. So I'm gonna mark up probably like right here. So just something about like this candle right here. So I'll go right to this area right here. And what was that? 45.75, 160. Let's do five. So, and then I'll just mark that in there. Just because, again, this could be an area of interest. So, again, keep it super simple. So, this is the previous weekly low, previous weekly high. Of course, price opened today. We broke it already. So, price could either continue to keep pushing higher and, of course, try to retest this all time high that was already made, or we end up rejecting and pulling right back into this range. So, but that's pretty much it. So, of course, for me, since I trade on the 30-minute time frame, I mean, you could see all this consolidation. It's crazy. So, I mean, it was price has been consolidating since last Sunday. Just a lot of up, down, just a lot of choppiness. So, to be honest with you, people have been, capitalizing on gold here and there. More so scalpers. Just kind of capitalizing on the move up and down. But I mean, these are not really the best trade conditions, to be honest with you. So we'll see now, of course, what gold's going to do because it did break out. But I think price could either try to retest the all-time high here and push past even further, and possibly hit what 4,700, 4,710, or it can reject and end up pushing back right into this range. So we'll see what happens. So right now it's kind of undecided on both gold and US30. So US30, of course, could continue to keep pushing up, and then of course US30 or gold, and then US30 could break this area right here. That's honestly what we're looking at on the 30-minute here. So of course, if we look at the hour or the 4 hour, makes it even clearer. So price could break and come past this area right here, come past this previous demand and supply zone, and basically probably take out these lows right here. But we'll see. But there's no trading tomorrow, so we'll come back Tuesday, and that's pretty much it for the breakdown. So if you guys have any questions on this live or anything like that, definitely put a comment down below. Definitely follow my Instagram. Move this over real quick. So definitely follow my Instagram, my IG, Nikki_pips. That's where I literally place all my trades, everything. That's where I do my challenges as well. So of course, Tuesday will be day 10, I believe, on the $500 to 10K challenge. We're still in it, and then of course we will be starting the 50K challenge with um, top tier trader or take profit trader. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. Let's have a profitable week this week, and let's get it. So I will be popping on Tuesday morning before market open. I trade live, typically Monday through Friday. So tap in with me. You can come back to my YouTube channel here. I will be live, or go to my Instagram, and the link is in my bio as well. So peace out.